Hey guys and girls, how is it going? And welcome back to another episode of Botania with myself, Lewis. I'm brilliant, having yourself a great day as always. We're back at the base. It's currently night time and I've just been on a little adventure. I made my way to the Nether to go and grab some bits and some bobs. I needed a fairly decent amount of stuff. You know, I got some lava, I found some ores. I went and did some digging over there. I'll take you over there in a sec because I actually found something really good. And I found some ender pearls, some mushrooms. I completely forgot that the Nether is actually a really good place to get mushrooms. I literally forgot about that. I always go around and I spend ages trying to find mushrooms, and then I take one trip to the Nether, walk around for 2 minutes and think, hey, there's a lot of mushrooms here. I could use those. I could do those. So let me take you over to something a little bit cooler. We're going to have a little sleepies first though, because I don't want to be going over there while it's night time, because there'll be loads of bad guys. Now I also did a little bit of work on the flower patch to try and get a little bit more mana. So I made some more day blooms and I made some nightshades, and I've currently got those going into here, making me a little bit of mana. You see we've got a tiny little smidgen in there, but that's probably going to be enough for what we need to do today. I also made some of these guys, some glimmering lime flowers. Now they might seem like your average Botania flower, but they're not. They give off light, so they work like, you know, kind of funky torches. So while it's nighttime, this area all lights up. You probably saw that a minute ago. They was all lit up. It's because of these flowers. And they're really easy to make. You basically just add one of the flowers with a bit of glowstone, and bam, you have a glimmering one. It's pretty cool, right? So let me take you over this way. And I believe it's here. Here we go. I found myself a zombie spawner. Oh, yes. And it is a very cool one indeed. I left all the loot there as well because I thought it would be interesting for you guys to see all of the loot that I managed to get inside it as well. But this is going to be great because we can use this for so many things, this zombie spawner. And you know, in general, zombie spawners are just mega useful, aren't they? And it was really easy to find as well. I was shocked at how easy it was to find. I was doing some mining and I saw some cobblestone. And as I saw the cobblestone, like this, I just wiggled my way in there and bam, one zombie spawner. Very nice. And we've got like some golden apples. We've got a Lexica Botania, because you can find those in here. And I got some buckets, and oh, I'm going to take those actually. And I got some gunpowder, and I got some iron, which is very cool. Actually, I'm going to take the gunpowder, and I'm going to take the iron. I'll leave these in here for now, but I will go back and collect them at some point. Now, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some alchemy with mana, because I haven't found all of the bits that I would like to find, and because of that we're a little bit limited on what we can do. So things like slimes, things like certain types of flowers or bits and bobs like that, well, we can do some alchemizing with mana to be able to get those items for us. But I did need to take a trip to the Nether first to be able to get some of the bits to be able to make this, namely some blaze rods, because I'm gonna go through a couple of those to be able to do this. So let's do this, shall we? I am going to throw all of this stuff in here, because this is basically just going to be my chest where I throw all my rubbish. And we can come in here and grab it whenever we need. So all that can go in there. And blaze rods, magma creams, iron, and everything mana-wise or Botania-wise will go in here. So we'll do that. Good stuff. Alright, so first things first. We're going to want to make an alchemy catalyst. Yes. And this guy is pretty cool. So let's have a look in here. Alchemy. There we go. We need 2 of the brewing stands. So we need some cobble and we're going to need some of you. So let's grab a couple of these and craft ourselves 2 of those. So we need you and we need you. Cool. And we're also going to need some living rock. So 4 bits of living rock, and we're going to need 2 bits of gold. So we'll grab those. Good stuff. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I might actually make a crafting table outside as well. Just one to keep out there for the time being. I think that could be cool. Here we go. And we'll pop this one around here. I think here could be a good place to put it. There we go. Very nice. I tried to make this look a little bit funky. I really like the living wood texture. I think it looks really cool. And with living wood, you can change it up quite a bit. So let me show you in here. If we have a look at living wood, this is our regular living wood. And then if we do that, we get 4 of the living wood planks. And then with the living wood planks, we can add seeds to get mossy living wood planks. And you can get things like framed living wood if you do 4 together, and you can get patterned frame if you do it like that. You can also get glimmering if you add a bit of glowstone. You'll see around here I've added some glimmering ones because I was trying to make it lit up so that we don't have many bad guys spawning. But I'm not really too sure if I like that because it looks a little bit patchy, you know, a little bit random. So I might try and find a better way to do it. I might just add some flowers around, some glimmering flowers, because they look pretty nice, don't they? So let's grab some of this. So we're going to need some of you. And we're also going to need, well, that reminds me, we're going to need to do a little bit of, we need to use a little bit of our mana. So I'm going to grab a ender pearl. And once we've done this, we're going to make a couple of flowers as well. Because we need to make some more flowers to get mana faster. This is fine for starting, but it's, you know, it's fairly rubbish. So let's do that. And I'll grab myself a mana pearl. And we're going to craft this guy. So let's do this. So alchemy. Bam. There we go. 1 alchemy catalyst. And what we can do with this is we can put it underneath our mana pool. Like that. There we go. And now we can do alchemy with our with this guy. Pretty cool, right? So anything that I place in here can be alchemized. Now, the alchemy catalyst doesn't have like a million things, but the ones that it does have are really, really useful. So if we have a look in here, and I'm just going to go to the lexicon index, and we want alchemizing with mana. There it is. Cool, cool. So it gives you the recipe, and then it shows what we can do with it. So we can change rotten leather to leather, rotten flesh to leather, which is kind of cool for a little bit of mana. And we can change the wood types into different wood types, saplings into different saplings. That's actually kind of cool because I do want to get my hands on a, I might grab a, where is it? Jungle sapling. We can change glowstone into glowstone dust, so we're guaranteed 4, which is kind of cool. We can change different types of quartz into the Botania quartz. We can make the chiseled stone. You know, the kind of things that you can't really make are able to be alchemized to be able to do vines for lily pads, and you can do it either way either. So if you change it into like a lily pad into a vine, you can change a vine back into a lily pad. You can do it that way. You can change, we can get all different types of things. So I can get the different types of these, which I'm actually going to do because melons and such are really, really useful. You can change blaze rods into nether warts. There is a lot of things we can do, and some of it costs more mana than others, so being able to make the book and quill into the name tag is fairly more expensive, but you know, name tag's a little bit more expensive. And change wool into string, which is kind of handy, but the main one I like is the cactus into slime balls, because slime balls are always sometimes a little bit of a pain in the bum to get hold of. The same with the ghast tears and the ender pearls. Redstone into glowstone and such. So you can see we can do quite a bit. We can make dirt into coarse dirt, I think. Yeah, coarse dirt. So grass won't grow on this. It's really handy. Cool beats. So let's make something else a little bit. What are you doing in there? Were you just hanging out in there having a little day out? Oh, have you seen me? Are you coming for a go? I don't think we need to get rid of this guy, because if I leave him there, he's going to go mental at some point. Come here. There we go. Did you drop anything? Oh, got myself some arrows. Nice. Alright, so we want to craft ourselves a couple of bits, and the first thing that I want to craft is a better way to get mana, because at the minute this is fairly slow and it's not really producing that much. So if I can make something that's going to take something to create mana, then that's going to be quite handy. And you remember in the last episode we wanted to make ourselves one of these generating flora that we was going to make. So let's have a look in here, and we'll have a look at generating flora. We wanted to make an endo flame. So while the day bloom is all well and good, a botanist requires more effective means of generating mana. The endo flame does that exactly. It will absorb any combustible items or blocks dropped on the nearby vicinity. There we go. So to do this, we need to make an endo flame. I'm going to bring this up in NEI because I am a stickler for forgetting the recipes, and having it in NEI is really useful. So I need a brown, and I need a red. So we've got brown and a red. There we go. Good stuff. So we need those. And then we need the regular counterparts of that. So I'm going to need another brown and a red. And we're going to need a mystical light grey. Mystical light grey. Where are you? There we go. Good stuff. And we only need one of those. So I'm going to take one of those. Good stuff. Alright, so let's go and craft ourselves one of these. Now we've got a decent amount of mana inside our little pool right here. So I want one of you. There we go. And I'm going to want one of you. Cool, cool. And that should do the trick. We are also going to need some seeds. I'm going to grab a couple of seeds actually, because I would like to alchemize my seeds so that I can get some different types of crops. Because you will find that when we come into doing some more crafting later on, we're going to need things like melons and pumpkins and all that sort of stuff. So it's good to kind of stock up on your crops. I think potatoes, carrots, all those guys. Let's go grab our bucket from inside here as well. Here we go. Cool. Alright, so we're going to want you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And that gives us one endo flame. Squirting lag. Very nice. Oh, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? Squirting lag. So I'm going to place this here, I think. And that's going to instantly link to our mana spreader, which is great. And like it says, we can give it any type of combustible item. And depending on the combustible item that you give it, will depend on the amount of mana that it's going to go ahead and produce. Now, it's not going to instantly produce that mana. It's going to burn, and it's kind of like a furnace. You know, it works like a furnace. Instead of cooking something for you, it will go ahead and it will it'll make mana for you. So something that burns longer will make more mana. That's pretty much it. Although, be it, you can't give it things like a bucket of lava, because it won't be able to spit back the bucket at you. It doesn't work like that. But what we can do is we can take some of this coal, and if we make a block of coal, because that's kind of the best thing we can do at the minute. There we go. We'll take you. And if we give it this, it's going to go ahead, it's going to gobble it up, and it's going to make a buttload of mana for us. And you'll see this going a lot faster once it eats that up. There we go. If we have a look in here now, see that going up pretty fast? Yeah. Nice! And you can see it's got a couple of little particle effects on there, showing that it's, you know, it's munching away, it's having a good time, burning away on that piece of charcoal. And that's actually going to last for a pretty long time, because, you know, if you put a block of charcoal into a furnace, it's going to last for some time, isn't it? So, and it's exactly the same with this. So you can see that burning away. Doing his thing, and he's going to make a decent amount of mana for us. So things like that, and some of the other type of mana generation are really, really handy, and probably the type of thing you want to be aiming for early game to be able to get as much mana as possible. I really like how when I get out of bed, I'm out here. It just kind of, I feel like I'm saving time, you know, for some reason I just feel like I'm saving a few minutes. Wow. So that's going to do that for us, and that's going to make a load of mana for us, which is brilliant. So let's grab some of these, because I would like to change some of my... Oh, I've got my seeds, haven't I? I would like to change some of my seeds around. So if we throw some seeds in there, and... Oh, are we gonna... Is it going to do it for us? Or is it not seeds? It might be wheat. Let's go have a look. Let's go grab some wheat. Because I'm hoping to be able to get things like potatoes and carrots. So if we grab some wheat... And we'll see if we get these. I think I got seeds because I saw the melon seeds. I don't think it's the seeds. I think it's the actual crop that we need. So let's give this a little try. Yeah, there we go. Poof. And we can change the... So we want another one of those. Another one of those. Yeah, wait. There we go. And carrot for you. Good, good. I need to do that again. And... that. I'm confuzzling myself here, and I need another one of these. And that gives us pumpkin. Great. So we've got melon, pumpkin, potato, carrot, and wheat. Nice. So we can go and plant these over this side. I'm gonna kind of keep all of my planting over this side, I think. So it's you know, it's out of way, it's out of sight, but it's still doing its thing. We're probably gonna do it along here. Actually, I think here's a good place to be doing it. I might move one of these, or I might bring this out a little bit more. Let's just fill this area here with water. I think that's going to be fine, isn't it? So if we do you like this. There we go. And we need some water. Here we go. And I can't have it flowing because that's going to it's going to hurt me. There we go. If I don't do it any other way. So we need our hoe. And let's get these guys planted. So I'll throw you along there. There we go. And around here. Cool, cool. Nice. I think that's going to be fine. And let's place down these. So we want our melon and our pumpkin and our carrot and our tater. And should we just do the rest as... No, we'll just leave it like that. I'm going to wait for these to grow. And then when they grow, I'll fill that whole area up with the crops. Yeah. That's going to work just fine. Now, the main type of flower that I'm looking to make first, because we're making flowers that can generate mana, but we want to be able to spend that mana, you know, just kind of saving that mana up isn't really going to do much for us. You see this guy's still burning? Still going. Making all the mana, although we just used up a lot of mana making all of that, so yeah, you want to keep a track of that. I didn't realise it'd use so much mana up. But this guy's just burning for days. He's going to go for days. These mana pools, though, believe me, they hold an absolute monstrous amount of mana. So for what may look like a small amount of mana, it's actually quite a bit of mana. So, yeah, just bear that in mind. Now, the one thing that I would like to go ahead and make... Well, there's two, actually. There's two things I would like to make. So, one is going to be a Jaded Amaranthus. These are kind of the first two flowers that I would recommend. So a Jaded Amaranthus is really handy. For that, we're going to need a Rune of Spring. For a Rune of Spring, we're going to need two of these. Now, you may not know what runes are, and that's fine, because runes are the next thing that we really need to go into, and for that, we're going to need a Runic Altar. We're also going to need a Rune of Fire, which means I'm going to need some Mana Steel. I'm going to need some Nether Brick, some Gunpowder and such, and I'm also going to need a Fishing Rod, some Sugarcane, and some Bone Meal. So let's make a Runic Altar, shall we? Or I might make another Endo Flame. Let's make another Endo Flame first, because stocking up on these is pretty handy. So we need red, brown, and light grey. Let's make a couple. Let's just make one more of these, and then that way I can get a decent amount of mana coming in quite fast. So we want the red, and we want the brown, and we want the light grey. There we go. Cool. And I'll give this guy another one of the blocks of charcoal. So I want you, and you. Cool. Gonna want some seeds. I might get another chest around here just for seeds, just to put all the seeds in. I think that's going to be handy. That way we can take a couple of the ones from over here and place them over that way. That way we haven't got to keep running around for it. We'll grab a seed. There we go. Cool. And it will be doubling our mana this way, so it's kind of handy to do that. I'm going to need some more water. There we go. And you. And you. And you. And you. Brilliant. And you can go along here as well. We'll do you there. And you can have yourself another block of coal. Yummy! So now it's going to get twice the mana. It's going to go up really fast now. Look at that. What a guy. Compared to these are nothing compared to one of these even. Not like two is insane, but one, wow. And this is even the start of the mana production. There are much better ways of making mana than these two, but these are just really, really good. You know, you're always going to have charcoal, you're going to have coal and such. Throw your Endo Flame. Get the mana. Do the mana. Do the math. Man, I feel like a salesman. Alright, so let's make a Runic Altar. And we'll make, we might make a quick rune, and then we'll leave it there for today. Because I'm going to need to get more mana before I do anything else. And then once we've got a decent amount of mana, we'll look into making some tools and some armor and stuff as well, because we can use that, which is always good. So I'm going to use a diamond for this. There's two different types of mana things we can make, a mana pearl or a mana diamond. You can use either of them for this, but I got loads of diamonds, so I'm just going to use the diamonds. So we're going to throw this inside our pool, just like we did with the mana pearl. There we go. And I'm going to need some living rock. And bam, it gives me a runic altar. Brilliant. I think I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to... because I kind of don't want this mana. I don't mind this mana coming out of here, I guess. We could be splitting this. That could be kind of handy if we split this up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make something else, actually. I'm going to make a mana tablet. How much living rock we got? We got a good amount of living rock. Because I am going to move my mana. I think, yes. Let's move our mana so that we can do this a lot easier. So I'm going to need... I don't know why I did that then. I'm going to need that. And I'm also going to need a distributor. So we're going to need some mana steel ingots. Alright, let's grab 2 bits of iron. And we're going to distribute this evenly so that we have one that's fine for alchemy and another one that's for something else. So I'm going to throw you in there and you in there. And mana steel is basically your kind of... well, it's mana steel. You can use this for a lot of different things. And it's kind of one of the main resources in Botania. One of the early game resources. We can make pickaxes, armor and stuff. We'll make all this in the next episode. But for now, I just kind of want to make this. So we're going to need you. I'm also going to need to do a diamond. Oh. There we go. Brilliant. And we'll do this. So if we break that mana pool, we're going to lose all the mana in it. And we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to make a mana tablet. And this is kind of like a portable mana battery. And you'll get used to carrying one of these around with you for some time until you move on to the bauble side of things. But this will allow you to charge some of your mana tools and apparatus and stuff like that. So I'm going to make one of these as well. And I'm also going to want another pool, aren't I? And I don't want a rubbish pool. I want a good pool. So let's grab inside here. We'll grab this diluted mana pool. Here we go. So we'll chuck you in here. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to quickly break you. There we go. So the mana is going to start getting stored up in these now. You can see them going up like that. That one's actually ran out now, so yes. And I'm going to get all this mana inside our tablet, our mana tablet that we've got stored in here, because I don't want to waste any of this mana. So at the minute it says accepting mana from items, you can see on there. If we shift and right click, it says sparing mana to items. So if we throw that on there now, it's going to go ahead, it's going to send all of the mana that was in that pool into this tablet. So we can see it's got a tiny little bit in there. Not much, because we've used a lot up doing all of our alchemy and whatnot. But now it's inside there, that's good. So we can do this, and we can put down you. Like that, and we can put another one here, like that. Now what's going to happen is if we send the mana into this distributor, instead of sending it directly into the mana pool, it's going to distribute it evenly between the two pools, so that way we can have one pool for our altar, and another our runic altar, and another one for doing our alchemy. So let's pop it down here, and I'm going to put this into bind mode. If you shift right click, you'll be able to put it into bind mode and function mode, and while it's in bind mode, if we click on the mana spreader, or if we shift click, it's going to bring up the wireframe, and then if we shift click on what we want it to point at, so this, it's going to point at that. There we go. Then we can deselect it, and we can put this back into function mode. Good stuff. Handy little thing that didn't used to be in there. We always used to be, well, we haven't always been able to shift and automatically do it. Used to be able to have to manually do it like that, but having the function mode on there is really handy, because I always used to forget to unbind my mana spreader. I would be doing something around the base, and then suddenly I'd see the little green thing pointing all over the place. I'd be like, what is my mana spreader doing? It's got a mind of its own. And I realised that I forgot to deselect it. But there we go. You can see that the mana is now going into both of these. So we're looking pretty good. And I'm going to want this kind of around here, I guess. So let's pop you there. We're going to make another mana spreader, I think. So let's get our living wood. And we're going to want some gold and some redstone. Not some redstone, we need a pearl. There we go. Need you and you. Let's quickly make a mana spreader. That and you and you. Bam. Cool. And I think we're gonna leave it here for today's episode, guys, because we've got a little bit done and getting a little bit strapped for time. But now that we've got that set up, once we come to using the runic altar, it's going to require some mana, and it's going to take the mana from this pool, and it's going to send it over to here. How cool is that? Pretty good, right? I think that's going to work nicely. As long as we don't change any of these flowers, they should stay linked to this one, because I used to have an issue with the flowers linking to the wrong thing, but I think we're going to be pretty good. They're not going to change what they're originally linked to, so we're pretty good there. Is that sending it to it? Yeah, it's sending out. Good stuff. Alright. We've got some mana in there. And some mana in there. Good stuff. And that's now linked to that. So whenever we use this, it's going to pull the mana from this mana pool, leaving this mana pool to be filled so we can do our alchemizing with it. That's great. And do you see what I mean about the lights, guys? I was saying about how these light the area up. Aren't they cool? Aren't they really nice? And you can get these for every type of your regular flower, every type of your magical flower. So if you want brown ones or white ones, or you can have yellow ones, totally up to you. But they look really nice. I like it. Oh man, all the bad guys are coming out. Cool. Alright guys, well I'll see you soon for another episode. We'll get into some tools, apparatus, and our runic altar in the next one. Maybe make a couple more, maybe make a bit more functional flora, because we haven't really got into functional flora yet. So we'll make one of those, and from there forward, we're going to start making some pretty cool stuff. Love it. Cool beans. Alright guys, I'll see you soon for another episode. Have yourself a great day. Have a good one as always, and goodbye.